Have you ever thought how an ordinary breakfast can lead to an extraordinary story? We all have our morning routines, don't we? A cup of steaming coffee, a slice of buttered toast, a news headline or two. But what if one day this mundane breakfast routine took an unexpected twist? That's exactly what happens in the intriguing tale, A Boy Over for Breakfast, found on the popular platform Wattpad. Let me set the stage for you. Picture this: a regular household, a familiar kitchen scene, and an everyday breakfast. Suddenly, an unexpected visitor arrives, and voila! The ordinary becomes extraordinary. As the title suggests, there's a boy over for breakfast. But who is this boy, and why is he there? Well, that's the crux of this captivating story. The beauty of this narrative lies not just in the plot, but also in the way it's told. The characters are so vividly portrayed, you'd think they were sitting right next to you, sipping coffee. The dialogue, the descriptions, the emotions, they're all so real and raw. It's like a slice of life served on a literary platter. But it's not just about the story. It's about the unexpected twists and turns that a simple breakfast brings in the life of the protagonist. It's about how a mundane morning can morph into a life-altering event. It's about how every day holds the potential for an extraordinary story. So, dear listeners, are you intrigued yet? Do you want to know what happens in this unique breakfast story? Are you curious about how an everyday meal can lead to an unexpected adventure? Well, then you're in for a treat. Stay tuned to find out how a breakfast can change a life forever. Let's dive into the world of our protagonist and the mysterious boy who comes over for breakfast. Our protagonist is a charming young woman named Emily. Emily is not your typical heroine. She's a little bit quirky and has a love for the simple things in life. She's strong, independent, and has a soft spot for good literature. She's a book lover who enjoys nothing more than losing herself in the pages of a good novel. Emily is also a creature of routine, and her mornings always begin the same way, with a peaceful breakfast, a steaming cup of coffee, and a good book. Now, let's meet the unexpected guest who shakes up Emily's routine, a boy named Jake. Jake is a bit of an enigma. He's mysterious, charismatic, and has a knack for showing up at the most unexpected times. Jake has a way of making an ordinary day extraordinary, and his unexpected visits for breakfast certainly add an element of surprise to Emily's otherwise predictable mornings. Emily and Jake share a unique bond, one that's built on the foundations of shared breakfasts and engaging conversations. They come from different backgrounds, yet their connection is undeniable. Emily, with her love for routine and literature, and Jake, with his spontaneous nature and enigmatic charm, form an unlikely yet intriguing pair. Their relationship is not just about shared meals. It's about understanding, acceptance, and the joy of companionship. It's about the comfort of routine and the thrill of the unexpected. It's about starting the day with a warm meal, a hot cup of coffee, and the company of someone who understands you. Now that we know our characters, let's uncover the events that unfold over breakfast. Imagine having your breakfast and suddenly a stranger walks in. What would you do? In our story, the protagonist is faced with just such a situation. She's peacefully enjoying her morning meal when, out of nowhere, an unknown boy stumbles into her breakfast nook. The shock is palpable, the surprise evident on both faces. But what stands out is the curiosity, that spark of interest that lights up when we encounter the unfamiliar. The protagonist, being the host, quickly regains her composure. She's startled, yes, but there's a puzzle to solve here, a mystery that's walked right into her home. The boy, on the other hand, looks lost, confused, perhaps a bit scared. This is not where he expected to be, and the tension hangs heavy in the air. It's an awkward moment, to say the least. Neither knows what to do. Should she invite him to share her breakfast? Should he accept if she does? They're strangers, yet there's an unspoken connection, a wordless communication that's as puzzling as it is intriguing. The protagonist breaks the silence, offering a simple question, a lifeline to the boy who seems adrift in this unexpected situation. He responds, and just like that, they're talking, sharing, making this strange encounter a little less unusual. With every bite they take, with every word they exchange, the tension eases. The awkwardness gives way to curiosity, to a strange sort of camaraderie, but there's still a sense of unease, a lingering question. Why is he here? What brought him to her breakfast table? As they finish their meal, this question hangs in the air, unanswered. But one thing is clear. This breakfast, this encounter, it's not a one-off event. It's the start of something, a story that's just beginning to unfold. It's an encounter that, in its own unique way, has changed both their lives. The breakfast ends, but the story has just begun. What happens after the breakfast? Does the protagonist's life go back to normal, or does it take an unexpected turn? Now that we've delved into the heart of the story, the breakfast encounter, it's time to explore its aftermath. This is where the story takes an interesting twist. In the aftermath of the breakfast, the protagonist's life is far from returning to normal. The breakfast encounter proves to be more than just a meal shared between two individuals. It becomes a pivotal moment, a catalyst that sets off a chain of unforeseen events. The protagonist, who was once lost in the mundanity of everyday life, suddenly finds herself immersed in a whirlwind of excitement, confusion, and curiosity. The boy who came over for breakfast isn't just a guest anymore. He's a fascinating enigma that our protagonist becomes eager to solve. Her life, which used to be a straight path, is now filled with twists and turns, each one more unexpected than the last. The breakfast encounter stirs up emotions she didn't know she had, and leads her to places she never thought she'd go. She starts seeing life through a fresh lens, a perspective that the breakfast encounter has given her. This is not a story about a single event. It's about how one seemingly ordinary encounter can stir the still waters of our lives and set off ripples that reach far beyond the point of impact. It's about how the most unexpected moments can lead to the most extraordinary journeys. In the aftermath of the breakfast, our protagonist learns that life isn't just about the destinations we reach, but also about the unexpected paths we tread and the surprises we find along the way. The breakfast encounter, therefore, is not just a one-time event. It's the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter filled with mystery, excitement, and the promise of growth. So, the breakfast encounter was not just a one-time event, it was the beginning of a new chapter in the protagonist's life. As we come to the end of our story, let's reflect on the events and the lessons learned. Our tale, A Boy Over for Breakfast, is a unique narrative that centers around a simple, everyday event, breakfast. It masterfully weaves a story that is both relatable and intriguing, illustrating how even the most ordinary moments can carry extraordinary potential. We met our characters, each of them distinct and memorable in their own right. Their personalities helped shape the story, adding depth and dimension to the breakfast encounter. This encounter, though seemingly mundane, served as a pivotal moment in our protagonist's life. It was a turning point that led to self-discovery and growth, reminding us that sometimes the most profound changes can stem from the most unexpected circumstances. The aftermath of this encounter was equally compelling. It was a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the human spirit, showcasing how we can navigate through life's surprises, both big and small. It emphasized the transformative power of experiences and interactions and how they can significantly impact our lives. So what lessons can we derive from this story? Firstly, it teaches us to appreciate the beauty in everyday moments. These moments, no matter how trivial they may seem, can be filled with potential for growth and learning. Secondly, it reminds us that people and encounters can profoundly shape our lives. They can challenge our perspectives, stimulate our thoughts, and ultimately change us in ways we could never have imagined. Lastly, it underscores the importance of adaptability, an essential skill in navigating the unexpected twists and turns of life. In conclusion, A Boy Over for Breakfast is not just a story about a breakfast encounter. It's a reflection on life, relationships, and personal growth. It prompts us to look at our own lives, our own breakfast encounters, and question, what are we learning from them? Remember, even a simple breakfast can lead to an extraordinary story. Never underestimate the power of everyday moments.